everyone, what is up? It's your boy K Natsuki here, back at it again with another new spankin' Hotwood video. And today, I have something that I actually have never done before. And I really wish the gacha clubbers would make at least one or two of the following things I'm about to say. One pertains to this what if, the other does not. Just please, people on Gacha Club, make these Deku ass what ifs for me, and I will subscribe to you and praise you for all of eternity. What if Deku was Alistair, which has nothing to do with today, or what if Deku was Monica, or Deku as Monica? Now I think both of these would be actually very entertaining to watch for me, but then again, that's only my opinion. And then of course I want to see Deku as Yoriichi and Deku as Muzan Gacha Life videos. However, I can't find any of those four categories anywhere. So please do me a favor and at least try to make those. But without any further ado, this is what if Deku found a cursed laptop. Now, in this AU, I guess you could say, Deku is still quirkless. Well, I mean, he technically is quirkless, but he has I guess you could say, extremely highly advanced brain. Meaning he's about 10 times smarter than the likes of Nezu. Or more such, 100 times smarter. Now, in this AU, however, Deku will not want to be a hero, and instead will be I guess you could say, engineer, or tech guy, or a IT guy of sorts. Pretty much he does anything with technology. As we go to Deku, who is, well, in his shop, in his chop shop, basically working. As Deku finds out that as Deku basically, he is looking around for junkyards, places he can, build and take old broken equipment from and make it into new powerful equipment for heroes to wear. Now, this is just a tinkering hobby of Deku's. As we see Deku basically walking and staring at a map, as he then sees a new junkyard area that he had not noticed before. As junkyards are very rare nowadays because, well, there's quite literally ways to instantly incinerate trash nowadays, so junkyards were abandoned. Either that, or you just put trash on a beach. As Deku would find a small, sort of junkyard, as he would go there. Now, it would basically have many things, all from broken toys, to old cars, to rocket engines, and even some live missiles. Live, but taken apart missiles. As Deku was confused on why no one ever went to this place. As he, however, on the ride, on his, I guess you could say, car ride there, Deku had noticed that there was hundreds, if not thousands, of signs saying keep out, stay away, stop, turn back, act, no, no pathway. However, Deku ignored these signs, clearly not knowing what they meant. As Deku would be looking through a giant pile of garbage, as he would then, of old machinery, as he would then find a dusty old laptop. Now, pretend it did not say property of F on it, but instead had basically wrote in, I guess you could say Egyptian, in Egyptian or ancient Sumerian, don't turn it on. Deku, of course, not being able to read ancient Sumerian, turns it on. And he powers up the laptop as suddenly just instantly a game turns on. Now, Deku is confused on why the first thing this old tablet turns on is a game. As Deku would turn on and would basically press the start button of the game, as suddenly a green lightning would come out of the computer as it would begin glowing green. And as the laptop would begin glowing green. As all of the trash and as lightning would bounce off of the metal, creating a ginormous light show. As we go to an old government research facility. And we go to a government research facility as, well, as we see basically a extra character sitting on a military private, basically watching a monitor, as suddenly the monitor blazes up. It's Monica with a K instead of a C, but good deductions, I guess you could say. As Deku would, as the game would then, as the military private would basically be watching the monitor, as it would then glow green. Green with, as he would see a giant red dot appear on the screen, as he would then say, "Sir, you might want to take a look at this." As we see a sergeant or general walk up to the monitor, as he then says, "My God. No way." As he would then say, "Where's this coming from?" As he would then say, the abandoned dump station the abandoned nuclear test station the abandoned military test station in Japan. As he would then say, that can only mean one thing. The game has begun. He would say. As the sergeant would then say, ignore it. and ignore that dot, it'll go away. As soon as fast as it appeared. Even if we tried to track it down, there's no way we could beat her. As this private would then say, "Who's her?" As the sergeant would then say, "That's a story for another time." As he would basically leave, and as he would basically rush out of the base, get in his car and drive away. As we go back to Deku, who has just found this, and who is just watching in awe as all this is happening, suddenly the thing turns off. As Deku then would say, "Well, that was a bit of a... Well, that was a little anticlimactic." As he would sit there, but nothing would happen. As he would walk away, as he'd say, "I'll come back tomorrow to see if something's okay." As Deku would then leave. And suddenly, and as when he is back at his home, the laptop would glow again. But this time, green electricity would come out of it. As a body would form and would basically glitch into reality. As we see a girl who looks like this, and who looks... Oh, darn it. Hold on. As we see a girl who looks like this just appear. As she then says, "Huh? Well, where did he go?" I mean, that's the first time in... yes. About 11 years that I felt that presence. And that I felt that presence. As she would then smile and say, "What was his name again?" As she would then sync up, and as suddenly a screen would appear right in front, would glitch right in front of her, as she would then, as it would appear with hundreds, maybe even thousands or millions of usernames, as she would then say, syncing that if I sync up the presence that I have felt with all that I felt long ago, and with one of those I felt long ago, and with the one I felt long ago, I should be able to get their name. As she would basically sync up Deku's fingerprints off of the laptop into her basically into her memories. As suddenly the entire screen would go blank except for one name. Izuku Midoriya. As she would then say, much better. So that's his name. Now y'all might be wondering, wait, what do I mean by synced up? I'm from long ago. Well, we go a flashback. Well, as Monica would then think of the first time she met Izuku, 11 years ago. Flashback. It was a normal day in the digital world of Doki Doki Literature Club. players would come in and would always choose the other girls over her. And the same old stick would happen each time. Kill them all, then deleted. Kill them all, deleted. And kill the three girls, then she gets deleted, and the player gets a happy ending. As she was tired of the same old stick for so long that she actually thought she might go crazy and kill one of the players. As she was planning to kill the next person who played Doki Doki Literature Club. As we see Deku, just a 5-year-old boy, playing this game of sorts. As he, of course, would have been shown the game by a older friend of his. As Deku would begin to play the game. As Deku would play the game, but would feel bad for Monica. As he understood that she was a bit unhinged, but she really just wants a happy ending, and the game can't give that to her. After all, it's not within her programming. Or that's what Deku was thinking. As when in reality she was a self-sufficient, extremely intelligent, and very powerful and very dangerous AI, self-aware AI. As Deku would hack something into the game, as a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of months ago, Deku would have learned how to hack things like his mom's computer, the GPS of a car, other things like that. And even phones and other devices. As Deku would basically grab the device and he would begin hacking something into the game's files. As suddenly a bouquet of roses would fall right in her lap and would basically glitch right in front of her as she was basically holding her head, and as she was basically holding her head, thinking about what to do and how to kill Deku, aka the player. As she would then say, "What? This shouldn't have happened." As she would then see the a small note, as it said, from the player. As she would hold off trying to kill Deku, and would instead begin chatting with him. Now, of course, Deku thought that the game was extremely advanced, and that Monica was saying everything and she was programmed to. In reality, she was saying everything that she had felt. As Deku would keep glitching in gifts and other things for her, and would even glitch in a happy ending for her. However, she wanted it to be more than just that. And more than just a normal in-game happy ending. And then Deku disappeared. And Deku had left the game, as he had forgot about it due to various and serious bullying. As we go to Monica, as she had waited and waited and waited and waited and waited for Deku to return, as it drove her truly insane. Just wondering who was that boy, who was that player? Why was he so nice to me? As she would then piece it together as fate, how it was meant to be. Now, of course, she, does not exactly believe in fate due to the fact that she's a living AI. But right now, she had no idea what to believe. As she would then, and as any player that came in contact with the game, and as one day another player would come in contact with the game and it would be back to the boring old shtick as normal. As she, of course, would, without hesitation, would literally kill this player in the real world. As the game was shut down, and globally, never to be seen again. All except for one little file in a scientist research area, and in a research area where they were researching on what killed the person, as they had saw it was the game's doing, as they saw a hand reach out of the screen with a knife and decapitate and slit the throat of the person. As well, many 11 years later, here we are. As she would then say, now, where had he go? Now, where did he go? As she would be looking around for any traces of anything. Deku, however, was wearing socks, so she could not. And he was wearing like the ninja shinobi socks. Because, hey, even sometimes you gotta be a little bit of a nerd. So she could not track him by his feet, as she had thought she lost him again. Until she saw one tiny, tiny, tiny microscopic thread. Now, obviously, she's a extremely intelligent and advanced, self-aware AI. I'm pretty sure she would have the ability of, like, saying make her eye a microscope. as we see, Monica basically look at the tiny thread and scan where it came from. As she would see that it came from Izuku Midoriya's outfit, and the outfit was from UA. As she would then say, so, my perfect boyfriend is so my perfect happy ending starts at UA. Alright, best look the part. As she would snap her fingers as a outfit glitch onto her. As she would walk away. Now, the reason why Deku is at UA is obviously because... Hold on. As... well... Monica would then say, at least I look the part now. I gotta look the part. As she would then skip away. As we go Deku, who is in his, just little area of UA. Now, he basically is like Iron Man. No powers, but he has a lot of machinery. So, he's like Iron Man or Batman in a sense. As we see Deku basically smelting together some machinery. And basically powering on and creating some machines. As he hears a voice call to him from outside. Hold on. Sorry about that. As we see, at the doorway as he says, young Midoriya. There you are. I was just coming to, talk to you. After all, I want to know what your progress is with One for All. And yes, in this AU, I am giving Deku One for All. Now, Deku cannot use over, 10% of One for All. As I all might be. Now, he is training ridiculously. And the users do accept Deku. And in the past, users do accept him. It's just that all of that unlocked potential and power is actually creating Deku a quirk. Or I guess you could say a form. You know how Super Saiyan and how Saiyans power up to go into different forms? Kind of like that. Except once this form is powered up, it won't need to be powered up again. As I'm calling it, the Thunder God form. It's more such lightning, but Lightning God doesn't have much of a ring to it as Thunder God. Don't you think so? He can basically, I'm not spoiling a lot of this form, but all I'm saying is he could All Might at plus Ultra 100% full power, and same thing with All for One with with extreme ease. Meaning that in this form, he's pretty much the most overpowered person to ever live. As we go back to Deku and All Might, as he then says, "No, All Might, nothing else. I've been trying and trying and trying and trying, but it doesn't go past 10. As he would then say, well then, young Midoriya, keep trying. As he would then say, I will, All Might, I will. As we go to Deku, who is fighting, and as we go to Deku, who is still tinkering, as we skip to the next day, as we go to Aizawa at the front of the classroom, as he says, "Alright, everyone, today we have a new transfer student. Be nice to her, Mineta, if you dare even so. Look at her oddly. I will slap you out of this building and literally have you expelled." He would say, as he then say, but anyways, Monica. She has no last name, she's a bit of an orphan. Or that's what it seems like. So just call her Monica. As Deku would see Monica with her long brown hair, here in a UA uniform with green eyes. As he'd say, and Aizawa would say, hey, sit next to Izuku. As she would then say, hey, well, I'm guessing you're Izuku, right? As she would point at Deku. As he'd say, yeah, how'd you know? As she would then say, I just have really good sense of eyesight. I just have really good eyesight. After all, I can see a sort of, I guess, name tag your clothes saying Izuku Midoriya. As she would point at a white and green name tag on Deku's hoodie, which is what's wrapped around his waist. As she would then say, so I'll sit right next to you. As she would then glitch over toward, well, no, not glitch over towards him. She would walk over to Deku and would sit next to him. As I would say, alright everyone, now, as we skip most of the school day, as Aizawa would then say, alright everyone, we're redoing the, assessment tests because we have a new student here and we need to assess their quirk. And you all have gotten stronger over the past couple of months, so, what the heck. As he would then say, alright, first up, Monica. As he would point over to Monica, who would walk over. As he would say, just one really easy thing. Grab this ball and throw it as hard as you can without using a quirk. Then, use your quirk. Work next time you throw the ball. You throw this ball. as he'd point to another ball. As she would then say, okay. As Monica would grab the ball and would throw it as high as she possibly could, as it would then say 300 meters, as everyone would go ballistic. As he'd then say, holy, 300 meters, that's high without using a cork. As he'd then say, well, now try it with your cork. He would say, as Monica had prepared for this type of situation when she was expected to use a cork. As she would then glitch, and as two giant black and purple wings would glitch onto her, as it seemed like they were made out of digitized, computerized glitches, and like they were made out of digitized pixels. As two horns would form looking like digitized, computerized pixels, as the same thing, as her eyes would then glow red. As she would then grab the ball, and she would then throw it. But this time, her hands would then, this time, red sort of strings would come out of her palms. As they would then grab the ball, as she would begin spinning around, faster and faster and faster each time, to the point where she was moving at 300 miles per hour, at a picosecond. Now, if you have no idea how fast a picosecond is, it's a trillionth of a second. So, yeah, she's going very, 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 very fast. As she would, be zooming around. And as she would be zooming around, as she would let go of the ball, all with her strings, as it would zoom out of orbit. Faster than anything they could imagine, as, we go to another anime, as we see a sort of team of people. As we see the leader of this team say, alright, please introduce yourselves and everything, and all that. As one fellow, as one said, my name is Sasuke Uchiha. My dream is I don't have any dreams, but I don't like anything and I don't dislike anything. My goal is to kill my brother and revive my clan. As Naruto would then say, my name is Naruto, I guess. As he would have a gemstone on his, on a part of his body. Now this is just another part of another what if, coming later today. As Sakura would say, my name is Sakura Haruno. As before she could even while she was saying her last name, a ball would have come out of nowhere and friggin' tracked her. As she would have been tossed all the way through the Kage Mount, all the way through the Kage faces. As she would be going so fast that she would actually deface the Hashirama face. As everyone would just look at this. Now we go back to Deku. Now we go back to MHA. As we see well, we see Monica basically smiling as well. As I would say, infinity. As she would then say, alright. As she would go back to normal, or as normal as she possibly can get. Has Deku, as we go to Deku. Now, he would have been asked to throw the ball, as Deku would grab the ball, but instead of normally grabbing it and throwing it, when he touched the ball and tried to throw it the first time without using his quirk, something happened. A chain reaction in his DNA. As Deku would be as Deku's DNA would be exploding from the inside. Hide with power. As we see Deku throw the ball normally without his quirk, as this time it's around 87 meters. Now the reason why it's so high, why it's a bit higher than canon, right? Why it's higher than Bakugo's is, well, simply because Deku is very powerful. At least I think it's higher than Bakugo's. Didn't Bakugo get 60-something in canon? Yeah. I think he did. Well, he was told to then use his quirk, as he would try to power up one as much as One For All as he possibly could. But instead of powering up One For All, he turned on the Thunder God form. Now hold on. Sorry about that. As Deku would have turned into this form. As we all know, this is his full cowling form. Or I'm pretty sure over 100%. As he would then go into this form. Now, he would grab the ball and throw it. This time, the ball would be going so fast and so far that, hold on, as the ball would be zooming so fast and so far that it would go through to another dimension. As we go back to Team 7, as Sakura has just awoken in a hospital, as she then says, "Who threw that?" As suddenly she is hit in the stomach and is flung 7,000 feet away. And is flung 7,000 miles away. As she would then say, I'm pretty sure that's the end of Sakura. As we go back to Deku, as he would then say, "What the? I was just trying to go 100%. I was just trying to go to my maximum. I was not. What did I even do?" As suddenly Deku would power down into this form. as he would then power down into his normal form. As Monica would then look at Deku and would then think, my god, he's so powerful. No wonder why we're meant for each other. We're both extremely powerful. And both kind towards each other. Although he might not remember me. She would say. As Monica would then say, oh well, if he doesn't remember me, I'll just make him remember. As she would then smile, and she would then crack a devilish smile, and would begin laughing, and laughing, and laughing. A horrid terror, and a horrid terrifying laugh. Of course, this is in her mind. As in her mind, she would also say, I'm thinking of after we get together, we could rule this entire world. Yes. Wouldn't that be just swell? She would say, as that is where I'm ending this part off. Hope y'all have enjoyed part 1 of What If Deku Found a Cursed Laptop. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. If I have notifications, please slap that notification bell. And I hope y'all are excited and I hope y'all will be up for my next video coming very soon. And yeah, goodbye and gadoosh.